Morning. Just got back from a run. Um, Earlier this morning, my wife and I usually get up 4:30, 5 o'clock, read for an hour, and then run and start the day. But anyway, this morning I was reading this article called "Corporate Tax Avoidance Remains Rampant Under New Tax Law." It's written by Gardner and Wamoff. Um, but it's pretty interesting. Article stated that 60 profitable Fortune 500 companies avoid all federal income taxes in 2018. I just recently mailed off my tax payment, so this is kind of disturbing. But you look at it, and these companies made about $80 billion in profit, but only paid. They had tax rebates of $4.3 billion, and in prior years, the article stated that these companies would have paid $16.4 billion in taxes, which is about the 21% statutory rate. So, pretty interesting, kind of frustrating, especially whenever you have to mail your tax payment. Although my wife and I, I'm okay. We're okay paying those taxes because they go back to fund community, federal projects. But there are a lot of people out there that can't stand it when taxes increase. But just so everyone knows, I do have a tax business, so I understand how the tax system works. And for example, this year, actually in prior years, if I moved, I could deduct my moving expenses. But this year, the only people that could use the moving expenses if you're in the military for certain jobs. Another one that was interesting is job-related expenses. In the past, you could write those off. However, this year, with the tax, that was changed, and only, again, people in the military, active military personnel, could write off job-related expenses. So, just to put things into perspective, but some of the companies that the article talked about that received these, who paid zero income taxes, and actually got rebates as well. So if you understand what a rebate is, it's where the government gives a business money back. So one of the larger ones was IBM. They earned $500 million in income, but received a $342 million tax rebate. I order a lot from Amazon too, so I feel like it's part of who I am. But Amazon reportedly made 11 billion U.S. income, and they actually got a $129 million tax rebate. Netflix, which I love Netflix as well, they made 856 million in income, but paid no income tax. Molson Coors enjoyed a $1.3 billion income in 2018 and received a tax rebate of $22.9 million. GM, the automaker, reported a negative tax rate and on 4.3 billion of income. So that kind of shows you make money, but then you're not getting in it, or the government's giving you some back. So there's some pretty prominent businesses that were on the list that whenever you look at, like Chevron, I think they made about $4.5 billion, and they got a rebate of $181 million. Let's see some other ones. Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines made about $5.5 billion and got a rebate of $187 million. Let's see, Halliburton, JetBlue, $219 million in income, and received actually had a negative 60, so basically a rebate. let's see, there's quite a few actually. Again, I did say 60 companies. Oh, Whirlpool, 717 million. And let's see. So some of these tax breaks, they are legal. I think the biggest one where companies receive these tax rebates were accelerated depreciation. So depreciation is where companies can write off the asset. So typically they say straight line depreciation. At least that's what I teach in my accounting class. I teach straight line depreciation, which is if an asset is $10,000, you divide it by 5, and then you write off $2,000 per year for over 5 years. There's also accelerated depreciation. There's double declining depreciation as well, which is more in the in the most recent years, and it decreases slowly, kind of like a upside down pyramid. But with the way the accelerated depreciation is, that is the current system that a lot of these companies utilize. It allows a company to write off a lot of their capital investments and assets, so which reduces the tax rate pretty drastically. So that's one. Also, some stock options. That's one where companies like Amazon, Netflix, Salesforce.com, Activision, Blizzard were able to use stock options as a way to not have to pay income tax. Also, there's a fossil fuel tax subsidies as well, which Pioneer Natural Resources, Occidental Petroleum, also those are companies. So those are a couple of ways that I was looking at the article and read about, did a little bit of research on it. Again, I do taxes, and so it's a little bit frustrating to see these tax rates, or these zero income tax on billions of dollars in income. And I understand the other side as well. Like I said, I do have a business background and a business degree. But whenever you look at it, that a lot of companies, or in the research, they talk about corporate social responsibility. Where corporations have some responsibility to take care of society and help impact society. So, depending on how you look at it, are these companies examples of corporate social responsible organizations? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. But sometimes I don't think so. I guess you'd have to look at a company's financial statements to really understand what they're doing and where they're giving back. For example, the top companies in the Fortune 500 companies that are models for corporate social responsibility are companies like REI, where they give a significant portion of their income back to the environment, with trails and community organizations to increase awareness for outdoor activities. So that's one. Another one that I read about, again, I do have my doctoral work is in leadership and organizational development, so I had to do research on these companies to see what they did and how they operate. But another company was, what was it called? Oh, Trader Joe's is another one, where they give back to the economy, where they focus on buying local and buying from developing countries. There's another, I think it's Natural Grocers. It's the opposite of Trader Joe's. It's another food company, but those are three that I had looked at, and that do practice corporate social responsibility, and those are the models. But anyway, just a little bit of information about taxes, since yesterday was April 15th, the dreaded tax day. So if you have any questions, feel free to check out the link below. Also, check out my podcast, 21st Century Native Leaders. I've interviewed 116 or 17 leaders who are making a difference in an Indian country. Now, these are people in nonprofits, business, research, and entrepreneurs, and different forms of leadership. So take a look at my podcast. Let me know what you think. It's pretty interesting. I do a lot of reading, and I like to share those readings that I do with people and kind of explain it. So check it out. Follow me on social media, 21st Century Native Leader or Navajo Podcaster. Have a good day. Hopefully you're relieved now that tax season's over. So have a good day. Bye. I'll go on net.